Yes, this is Mr. Controversy, and this is the infamous three-point conversion station. Keep it locked.
From coast to coast, representing all the dog pound. This is the Brownstown Podcast, powered by the 3-point conversion. I'm Eric, and over there is LA Broadus, LA!
Hello, Browns fans, and thank you for listening to BrownsTownUSA, powered by the 3-point conversion. The 3-point conversion, where fans' opinions matter. Make sure you go over to the 3pointconversion.com, get your latest sports news and updates, and also follow the 3-point conversion on all your major social media outlets. Eric.
Yo!
So we just endured a week of all the thrashing and bashing of what the Chargers have done to this Browns team. What have you been doing this week?
In all honesty, other than celebrating the Red Sox going to the World Series, I've actually been playing a lot of Madden this week. Just because they have the roster updates that they do like every week, and I'll be honest, I've been playing with Baker Mayfield. And I'll be honest, it is entertaining to see Baker can still throw for 200 yards against the Steelers defense. He was hoping that we get to see that.
Yeah. I would have to say that, during my week, I've been crying. I've cried a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Hug teddy bears. Just try to get back in a good headspace, because the crazy thing is that a lot of people are calling this game against Tampa a must-win, because they feel like if we took that thrashing from the Chargers and then we come out and get thrashed again by Tampa, it's going to set a whole thing it's going to just roll into a big thing, like set off a cataclysmic type Armageddon in the Browns organization once again. And do you see where they're coming? Do you think that we're almost there again?
Honestly, I think we are, but for a much different reason than what's being said ultimately. I mean, look, if we get thrashed by the Chargers, that's much different than if we would get thrashed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because the Chargers are actually a team that, if you take the Chiefs out, they're a playoff team, easily. They probably would have the best team in the division. Hell, I'd even say that if the Chiefs still had Alex Smith, they would have a better chance of making the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes is just too damn good. But with all of that said, the Buccaneers are a much different organization. We'll get more into it during the previews, but if you lose to Tampa Bay, then Hugh's future is really in jeopardy.
Absolutely. And you know what? I don't even want to go there right away yet. I just want to say congratulations, man, for your Red Sox getting to the World Series. That's definitely huge, even though I think the Boston area in general is just a bunch of spoiled brats, because you guys.
Oh, come on.
Yes, no, I am saying it. I'm putting it out there. You guys are a bunch of spoiled brats, because you have the Boston Red Sox, you have the daggone Patriots. I mean, everybody, okay, in that city. The Celtics are right there and still very good. I mean, come on. All right. I mean, how much luck or how much more does that city need? Spread the love.
Hold on. If you're going to say this, and I'm not trying to throw other people that are with our group, if you will, under the bus.
Go ahead and do it. Call a spade a spade.
If we're going to do that, then how about the 2 New York fans that we have then? I mean, come on. Do we really need to know about teams with 27 championships, and then we got cheated out of – you got cheated out of one. Come on. Seriously. If you want, when you live in Connecticut, the first thing you gotta realize is you're either diehard New York or diehard Boston with some weird oddities sprinkled in. Like, for example, football. We have a couple Browns fans up here to the point that we have Browns backers up here in Connecticut. I know at least 2 or 3 Dolphins fans. I know God. I can't even say this with a straight face. I know a doggone Bills fan. And Chargers and even Seattle fans. For some reason, though, the New York fans do aggravate me a little bit.
Look, all I'm saying is this. I don't care. I'm sick of Boston going and being in some type of top-level Super Bowl, World Series. Now, they may go to the NBA Finals. I'm sick of it, okay? So,
all right, so you told me you want to see the New York Knicks actually do – okay, actually, never mind. That's not realistic.
No, I don't care about New York. No. I'm just saying I'm tired of seeing Boston. So, anywho, before we we have to go ahead and put this past game in the ground. You know what I'm saying? Bury it. What's your last thoughts, man, from this Chargers game? Like, after seeing the entire week, and I know we're going to get into injuries and stuff a little bit later, but seeing how we got banged up, what's your final thoughts on that Chargers game?
My final thoughts on this Chargers game is you better figure something out, because if you thought the fans were restless before that game, they're just getting started.
Absolutely. And I think as well, kind of piggybacking on that Hugh, you counting your days, man. It's kind of like when you're walking down the lane, the hallway to go get electrocuted or whatever, like dead man walking. So, yeah, like I said, let's put to bed the Chargers game, and we're going to move forward. But we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we get back, though, we're going to talk about what's trending with the Browns, some major injury news, and we'll probably throw a little stock up and stock down in there as well. So I'm excited, Eric. Are you?
Whoop, whoop!
All right. This is Brownstown USA, powered by 3-Point Conversion. We'll be right back.
Mayfield takes the snap, back, looks, lobs, right corner, and Njoku caught it, touchdown. David Njoku, and he flips the ball to a fan in the dog pound.
And we are back. I'm LA, and across from me is my main man, Eric, and this is Brownstown USA, powered by the 3-Point Conversion. We just got done putting that ugly Chargers loss to bed. We buried it. We're not thinking about it anymore, and we are moving forward. We're moving on. So, Eric, I ran across an article, man, that was actually pretty interesting. And yeah, absolutely. And it was Jarvis Landry, and he said, I have to stay out of the numbers. And I read that headline, and I was like, what in the world is he talking about? But Jarvis went on to explain that every time he logs on to social media, he's getting heckled by fans. He didn't have the best of games last week. And he's saying he had to turn off his Twitter because he only had 2 catches for 11 yards against the Chargers. And he said he doesn't want it to get into his head that now, instead of winning the game as a team, in order not to get heckled, he has to go out there and put up 10 catches, 100 yards. How do you feel about that, man?
I know the exact fans he's talking about. I was avoiding getting into it with somebody on the Browns Facebook page because somebody was sitting there telling me that Jarvis Landry was a waste of a pick and, waste of a pick trade. You know what I mean. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. They were being brutal to the guy because he's not putting up the numbers that he's expected to. But at the same time, is he supposed to be putting up those numbers? There's another reason why he was brought onto this team. You know exactly what that reason is.
to be contagious.
Well, he has to be contagious, but he's also here to be the leader of this team.
Yeah,
And yet people are like, oh, well, we don't need a leader. I mean, we have blah, blah, blah. We have Baker May. No, one guy does not make a leader when you think about it. You need multiple leaders on this team if you want to get anywhere. As long as you're not butting heads, you're good.
Well, to kind of piggyback off of that, Todd Haley also came out and said in one of his press conferences this week that Jarvis must treat every snap as though it's his most important one, must be the leader. He didn't do it in that game, referring to the Chargers game, but no one did, including the coaches. So with that being said, and that direct quote from Todd Haley, how are you feeling about the overall state of this team right now, Eric?
In all honesty, I think right now, one, they need a win because it sounds like spirits are starting to get low again. And two, I think the other problem that is going on is when you get down to it, what is ultimately going to fix this one situation? Look, Hugh Jackson seems to be disconnected. I hate to be that guy, but there seems to be a real disconnect between Hugh and the team. If Haley's going to be down on it, then you're in trouble. The only guy that doesn't seem to be down right now is Greg Williams.
I mean, but isn't it kind of crazy already? I mean, I understand how bad the Chargers loss was, but isn't it a little concerning already that you get one loss? I mean, ultimately, technically, I know we have three, but you get that one loss, that one blowout loss, and then all of a sudden it's like it feels like the old – that's one of my pet peeves, right? You know, when you hop on Twitter and it's in the middle of the game and then, you know, somebody drops the ball or something and then all of a sudden what's every fan's go-to slogan? Oh, same old Browns, right? I hate that. I really hate it. But I have to use it in this situation. You have Todd Haley say that. You have Jarvis say that. You've seen the body language from the Chargers. I think it's extremely alarming that as quick as we were all high on our horses before this Chargers game, to immediately right after that go back into the doldrums that quickly is alarming to me. So, again, like I was saying, man, doesn't it alarm you for us to be able to drop off like how fast we dropped off the cliff? You know, it's pretty much what I'm getting at.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. I mean, if you aren't alarmed by this at any point, then you're crazy. I mean, look, say what you will. The fact is, this is a situation that if you can't rebound from this, and if you lose that badly, it doesn't matter what comes next. You have to find that way. You have to find that momentum again, especially since you're going up against a much easier team. Chargers would be a playoff team like I was talking about before. Tampa Bay is struggling with their identity right now. So if you can't find a way to rebuild from there, I just don't see a future for at least one of these coaches.
Yeah, and I was listening to some show, and the crazy part is they were saying that, and I think you mentioned it too previously, is that if a lot of people are saying, okay, yeah, if they fire Hugh, we want to bring up Haley or we want to bring up Williams. But a lot of people are thinking that if they fire Hugh, it's going to be a complete stable clear. Like, they're going to clear out everything again. And to be honest with you, I love the players on this team. And if they clear the stable all over again, it's going to set us back even longer because the new guy that comes in is not going to necessarily agree with the same schemes. It's not going to all be the same. And then you're going to have to go through that whole thing of a year or two. Oh, we have to wait until he get his players in. And, you know, and then the players got to learn the new playbooks. I honestly don't want that, Eric. And I know as bad as it seems that we're trying to hold on to a dysfunctional Hugh, but I really don't want to go through that again. I don't want to go through the rumors of who's going to be our head coach. I don't want to go through the rumors of who's going to be the next coordinators and stuff like that. Then hearing, the Jarvis Landry, because I know he's going to say something. The veterans are going to say something. It's going to put another, bad taste in Myles Garrett's mouth. Remember, he's eventually – I know he's still in his rookie deal, but he's going to eventually get to the point where he's a big-time free agent, and you want to be able to hold on to guys like that. I don't want to do this again. I don't have the energy for it.
I don't think anybody does. I mean, look, unless you can find a way to, for lack of a better word, promote from within, whether it's you have Greg Williams as a head coach or Haley, but a lot of people right now are hating on Haley big time. Look, the fact of the matter is this. It's not a good situation here in Cleveland. If it's either at this point you bring in somebody and they're going to want to change the whole system, or you keep Hugh and pretty much have to hope that he learns something, which he probably hasn't, or you hire from within, and then you have to replace that coordinator. It sucks, but we're in a lose-lose-lose situation at this point.
Well, look, this turned dark really quickly, and I'm going to try to pick up. Well, dang, the next thing that we're going to talk about isn't too good either. But I'm going to try to get more excited because we have to get excited for people out there. We got the Bucs coming up, man. We got the Bucs coming up. But real quickly, what we're going to do, go over these injuries and transactions. Eric, we've seen a couple of transactions where we brought up Damari Scott, the wide receiver. We brought up a linebacker as well. So we've been kind of bringing from our practice squad. We haven't really been going out and having too many workouts. I know that one day we had about 7, but we didn't sign anybody from there. Damari Scott, correct me if I'm wrong, he had a pretty good preseason, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we got Damari Scott, we got Damian Ratley. I mean, we're bringing up all these rookies, giving them shots. I heard a great point. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to say that for later. EJ Gaines, though. EJ Gaines popped up on the injury report. He popped up and being in concussion protocol. They don't actually know when he was hit. They don't know how it happened. Football is like that. We get it. Sometimes you get hit, you keep rolling, you don't think about it, then all of a sudden the next week, couple of days or so, you start getting these headaches and boom, you got a concussion. How much is this going to hurt us, man, not having EJ back there?
Well, now it kind of makes you wonder, should they go after Patrick Peterson like we were talking about? I mean, look, the thing is, you're going to need a cornerback. And considering that cornerback has been probably one of our best positions all year, do you really trust TJ Carey to cover in the 2 slot? Look, Ward is fine. I'm not worried so much about Ward. What I am worried about is not having a running mate for Ward, or at least a decent running mate. I know it sounds crazy, but the fact of the matter is, when you don't have that running mate, bad things happen. And we should know this by now. What happened when we had Joe Hayden? He didn't have a running mate, and he got burned for it.
True.
What happened when you had Sheldon Brown? Same thing.
Well, besides EJ Gaines being on this injury report, we, of course, had another big one, Joe Sherbert. Wasn't really expecting him to play in this game either, based on the severity of the hamstring. That is another big glaring area for us is the linebacker position. I believe they said that they were going to slide were they going to slide Kirksey over, right? They're going to slide Kirksey over to the middle linebacker, and then they were going to sub in, and kind of do like a rotation for his side at the linebacker position. With that being said, and we have one more injury to go over after this, but with that being said, how do you feel about this linebacking core that we were already pretty, hard on this entire season so far?
I mean, look, the linebacking core is – right now we went from having a top linebacking core to have it being on garbage watch right now. And you know what? What didn't help was the fact that it got shredded to death by the Chargers last week. I hate to even bring it up, but now you don't have Burgess because he was placed on the injury list. He's technically still a Brown since no one claimed him, but that's beside the point. Now you have to hope that this new young linebacker can do something about it. You also need to hope that maybe Kirksey and Collins can pick up the slack because this was a major injury for our linebacking core. So
yeah, it definitely was, man. And now moving on the other side of the ball, we also had J.C. Treader, who has a high ankle sprain, and it doesn't look like he's going to play either. So with that being said, they're going to slide in rookie Austin Corbett there at the center position. How are you feeling about that?
I honestly want to see this happen. Look, one of the things that I've noticed is that a lot of people have been wondering, when are we going to use Corbett? Did we seriously just waste a draft pick on this guy? But the fact is, Corbett hasn't been given the opportunity because of the rise of Desmond Harrison. Look, Joe Thomas said it earlier in the year that he saw Corbett being more of a center or guard. He didn't see him as a left tackle. So, you know what? Let him do his thing. Let's give it a shot and let's see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we knew about the whole thing about Austin Corbett. We've been trying him at different spots all training camp. Wasn't looking too good. I think a lot of times people were saying that he was more so like of a guard kind of player. J.C. Treader, when we got him, it was definitely exciting to, be able to have that veteran presence there. But we already knew that he was coming off of a lot of injuries in Green Bay, I believe it was. So, he's not one of my favorite linemen, but I mean, he was okay. You know what I mean? So, am I missing any transactions?
I think the transactions you got, I don't think there was many other moves made, other than the rumors, but honestly, we already addressed those last week. Well, last show.
Okay. Awesome. Well, what we'll do, man, is we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll talk about our stock up and stock down players. And then also we'll be debuting something new. Should I tell them now or should I wait? Yeah, I'll wait.
I'll wait.
I'll wait. Oh, man. Okay. And as we're doing that, some breaking news from the Cardinals.
Let me guess. It has to do with Mike McCoy being fired.
Yep, he's fired, and Byron Leftwich is taking his place.
Wow, I really don't give a damn. I knew that McCoy was going to get fired. I just didn't know who was going to take his place.
Yep. So, we're going to take a quick break, guys. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, we'll talk about stock up, stock down, and, of course, a surprise. Be right back.
Hey, this is Gary Payton. Y'all listen to 3-Point Conversion Radio. It's the bomb.
And we are back. I'm LA, and across from me is Eric. And this is Brownstown USA, powered by the 3-Point Conversion. Now, if you want to keep track of Brownstown USA, follow us on Twitter at BrownsTownUSA, and also join our exclusive Facebook group because that's what we do. We're in there, and we're talking Brown stuff all the time. Love it. But right now we're going to do our stock up and stock down. And, Eric, I need to know, and I know last week was ugly, but who do you got, man? Who do you got for your stock up player that you're going to be watching this week?
Okay, I'm going for the low-hanging fruit. You know who I'm going to say. I got to go with Damian Ratley. I mean,
oh, my gosh. I can't believe you wussied out like that.
I'm sorry, but I just know but it's not for the reason everybody is saying, and that is because he's a rookie and no. There's another reason. And this is going to sound bizarre, but just hear me out on this.
Okay.
Texas universities have always put out good weaponry. Is that correct? Is that fair to say?
It is. I'll let you.
Yeah, I mean, because if I remember correctly, he went to A&M, and you remember who he replaced as the number one receiver there, Mike Evans, if you remember correctly. He replaced Mike Evans as Kenny Hill or whoever the hell his starter is, favorite target. So, considering that he ran that, for lack of better words, spread offense, it usually helps the wide receiver more than it does the quarterback. So, given that you have all that, given that this is a guy that wasn't given his fair due in the first, so far, 7 games, not 7 games, sorry, like 4 or 5 games, he's going to be hungry. He's going to have the opportunity to do something. There's just no other way to put it. It's not because he's good and he looked good last week. No, I don't give a damn if he looked good last week. That was last week. This is this week.
My stock up player, Eric, I'm going to go with, because I'm not a wuss and going to take the low-hanging fruit. I'm going to go with, actually, Jannard Avery.
I mean, it's a smart pick.
Well, of course. I mean, who are you talking to? This is LA here. Of course it's a smart pick. What the heck?
Okay, but humor me. What do you got on this?
No, seriously, Jannard Avery. I mean, there's really nobody else left on the defensive side of the ball that can tackle somebody that I'm extremely confident in. Jannard has shown flashes all season. He really had a great preseason. And I really just want to see this guy, take it to the next level. So I'm going to be looking for Jannard Avery in this one. Eric, who's your stock down guy? And I hate to say stock down. I think I heard somebody say stock. I can't remember the terminology they use, but I know it's stock down, but I hate to say down because we don't want to be down on this Browns team. But just until I figure out the next name I want to call it, who do you got as your stock down player?
My stock down. You know what?
Dang, so good made you cough, huh?
You know what? I don't know if I even have a stock down player. I mean, not saying because we're so bad. I mean, not saying because we're so good that we can go nowhere but up, or we're so bad. No. Because the thing is, week in and week out, we always say, well, what about Antonio Callaway? I'm tired of ringing that bell right now. I don't want to say Jarvis Landry because the dude's still inspiring the team. If I had to pick somebody, I guess, it's a D-bag thing to say, but I'd say probably J.C. Treader because this year's been
goodness, the man is already injured. You going to pick on him for stock down?
You know what? I'm going to adding insult to injury.
Oh, my gosh. Think about the kids. What about the children?
They'll learn about it. There will be people, but that's just the thing. I mean, look, he's been our weakest lineman. I hate to say it, but this year, I feel bad that he's hurt, but even you have to admit, he's been one of our weakest linemen.
Look, my stock down, man, is I'm actually just calling out Todd Haley. That's who my stock down is. I'm sick of this crap, man. I'm sick of Hugh Jackson going to the press conference and saying, yeah, we want to get more carries for Nick Chubb, and we want to definitely get Duke Johnson involved. The next week, Duke Johnson, 5 touches. Nick Chubb, 3 touches. Then you go back the next week again. Yep, it was every intention of ours to get Nick Chubb and Duke Johnson involved, but it just didn't happen that way. But this week, we're definitely going to get it done. Okay, look, Duke Johnson is one of the best pass catching running backs in this league. You guys gave him an extension And the guy wants to just go out there and play football for you guys. He said he didn't care if it was at wide receiver, running back, whatever back, nickel backs. He didn't care, okay? And he wants to go out there and just play football. So you have to get this guy involved. You have to get him catching. We don't have any wide receivers. They're all injured. And you would rather bring up an unproven rookie, put them in the spotlight like that, than to sit up there and give a guy that's already been there and proved it for you guys, and you guys paid him. You could split them out, man. I mean, Eric, in what world did they say that you cannot put Duke Johnson and Carlos Hyde in at the same time?
You know what? Surprisingly enough, that's exactly it. I mean, how many times did we do that last year with 3 running backs and Dan Vitale, but who cares? But, like, we had so many packages. The one package I actually do miss, and you're probably going to be like, why do you miss it, is when we had the full house formation, when we had Duke Johnson and I believe it was Duke Johnson and Crow on the ends, and then you had Vitale in the middle. And then, of course, you had them all surrounding the quarterback. I miss that formation because it makes defenses have to bunch up, and then you could just send Duke Johnson to the side and then leave the tight ends open. We're not doing that anymore. You know why? Because Todd Haley thinks he knows best right now. So I'll give you that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. So just got some news.
Oh, boy.
J.C. Treader is back practicing today and expects to play. So that kind of kills that whole Austin Corbett thing, even though I think he'll be on standby in case something happens, a roll-up or something like that. But looks like J.C. Treader will play. And I know that that's your favorite guy. So
you know
just
what?
want to let you know.
You know what? I'm not going to give him a discount because I like the signing.
Well, no. You've been cleared is what I'm saying. You can call him a stock down guy because he's playing now. But when he was injured, that was like, picking on a guy that's in a wheelchair or something. You don't do that, okay? That's not what you do. So
Hold on. What about the guys being let's just say, what if that guy's being never mind, forget about it.
Nah. So, Eric, we came up with this idea because we have such an amazing Facebook group, BrownsTownUSA, by the way, search for it. And we have an amazing group and we have amazing fans. Now, we do have the fans that can be a little bit on the side of, that the way that they express their love for their team is they complain. And that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't beat up too much on each other in this group. We do a pretty good job. We have some spirited debates. Admins step in when needed. I mean, it's pretty clean. So I had this idea that we wanted to give these people some love, okay? For our top participants, that's the word, participants this week in Brownstown. So want to give a shout out to John Pranine. I'm sorry, sir, if I messed that up. John Pranine III. He's our top contributor with 10 posts, over 170 comments. Then coming in next is Mark Kunla. After that, Lee Entler, John Buckenroth Jr., and Norman Lewis Baldwin Jr. So definitely appreciate you guys for contributing to the group. Keep it coming. Keep commenting. And let's remember to all play well with others. So, Eric, any parting words that you want to say to our Brownstown fans of the week? And then after that, we'll take a quick break.
The only thing I will have to say is, look, I know that maybe you get involved, some of them get involved in shouting matches with some of our other admins. I'm not going to name names, obviously. You probably can figure out at least one of them. But the fact is, we definitely appreciate it. We definitely appreciate the fact that you ask the questions. We definitely appreciate that you find good articles and share them because it makes our job a lot easier, for lack of a better word.
Absolutely. So, how to get shouted out on the show, we're going to be doing this every week when we do our preview. contribute. Hop on the top of that list. We'll definitely give you a shout out. Again, comment, interact, post, whatever you want to do. But let's talk Browns. Let's get this group good, and make sure that you invite all your Browns fans, family and friends into the group as well. We always
also make sure the post is good at least, because I'm not trying to be that guy, but we don't want to see your spam of like, look at these Browns flip-flops we're selling. No one cares. No offense.
Look, I'm not knocking anybody's hustle. If that's how you hustle, good, but don't bait us. You know what I mean? Don't say – because a lot of the posts that I've been seeing in these Browns groups have been, man, look what I just picked up, and it's like a jersey. And then all of a sudden when people are like liking it and like, oh, that's so cool, then they're like, yeah, and you can get yours too, at such and such and such and such. And I'm like, okay, all right. If you just want to sell something, then just say, hey, look, hey, guys, this is what I'm doing. I'm selling Browns T-shirts. Hit me up if you want a pair. I'm cool with that.
It's between that and, like, the fake accounts that we sometimes get that are always the weirdest. But in any case, thank you, everybody. And please listen to the rest of the show.
All righty, then. So with that being said, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to actually reach into that doggy bag. I know Eric has some treats this week. So
yeah.
See how excited he is, guys? See how excited he is? So we'll be right back. And this is Brownstown USA, powered by the 3-point conversion. I'm so excited about this doggy bag. I can't even get it out. Powered by the 3-point conversion. We'll be right back.
And Jones left foots it down the field. Peppers has room, catches at the 28, he's to the 30, he's to the 35, he's up the middle, he's to the 45, he's to the 50, he's to the 45, he's to the 40, he's to the 38-yard line. Here comes Jabril Peppers. Rayshon Jenkins saved a touchdown, and Peppers single-handedly is giving the Browns great field position.
And we are back. Brownstown, USA. I'm LA, and across from me is my man, Eric. And like I said, I am extremely excited because this is the portion of the show that we get your interaction. We hear from you guys. And we went out and we asked the question, hey, what's on your mind? What's going on? And this week, you guys responded greatly. You did a great job. Thank you. So I'm gonna throw it over to Eric, and he's gonna reach into his bag and he's gonna grab some of your questions from our doggy bag segment.
Okay, let me just roll up my sleeve really quick. And I found one of my favorite books. Why is Daddy Crying on Sundays? Wow, this book is really dark. I forgot about that. Okay. All right, so the first question that we do have is what do we got? Why don't we run the Wildcat with Peppers like Michigan did? If I may, when have you seen us run the Wildcat? Period, other than when we had Terrell Pryor a couple years ago, and spoiler alert, it still didn't work.
I think we did it with Pryor. We did it with Josh Cribbs, maybe.
Yeah, we've done it, just not for a long time.
Yeah, I want to say we did it with one other wide receiver, too, that was like a former quarterback. I can't remember it, though, off the top of my head. The reason why we don't do the Wildcat is because it doesn't work anymore. I mean, when Miami debuted it and they just absolutely ran it to death, people had a lot of film on it, and then they were able to stop it, so it didn't work as much. I can understand maybe doing it as maybe a trick surprise play, but to be honest with you, I'm not really down for Browns running trick surprise plays if we can't even get our normal plays down. Come on, just line up and run the ball, guys.
The Philly special, or I'm just going to start calling it the Bakersfield special.
No.
Okay.
No, you can't take that play away from. I mean, Philly did it.
Okay, yeah, you know the play. I mean, though, but
yeah,
the thing is, that play it worked. So I don't have as much of a problem running it every once in a while. But the Wildcat is a fad offensive scheme. It doesn't work anymore. There's reasons why nobody runs it anymore. It's because when you had players like Antoine Randall, Josh Cribbs, Denard Robinson, who played the quarterback spot. It worked. Now players are doing it, and the players that would be doing it are switching positions their last year in college. So it takes away from that experience because 1 year away from playing quarterback, you're going to struggle.
Very true. Very true. So, yeah, no Wildcat for me, please.
Seriously, that's just no. All right, let's see. What do we got? Oh, very cool. I found some pills. I'm not taking those. I'm not trusting those.
Okay, guys, if you don't see Eric on next show, that's because he's been suspended for NFL substance abuse.
Hey, it can't be any worse than the violation for unsportsmanlike conduct. Let's see. Here we go. Is there reason to believe Dorsey is trying to go with guys in-house and is waiting to pull in a big-name guy or guys in free agency or draft as to not use major amounts of cap space and deal away any more draft picks?
Wait, what? That was a mouthful.
Trust me, I think I need an oxygen tank just reading that question. Okay.
Yeah, that was definitely.
So I think what it's basically asking is there reason to believe that John Dorsey is waiting for the draft and free agency to not use major amounts of cap space instead of trading picks?
I think it's a combination of both. To be honest with you, with trading for somebody right now, especially when teams still feel like they can be in a mix, you're not going to get, kind of like with the MLB, right? You have with the MLB, if you try to trade for somebody early, the price is always going to be higher. But once teams see that they're out of it, then you hear that quote-unquote fire sale, and that's when they start letting go of good people. I think it might be the same in the NFL, and maybe Dorsey is kind of just waiting. But the problem with that waiting is that you start to lose your season as well. So it's always kind of hard to get and trade for a player in mid-season compared to the off-season.
Absolutely. The other thing that you got to realize is you also don't have as many trades regardless. I mean, teams are not trading their big names at any point in the season. They'd rather just let them run out for the most part. I mean, yeah, you do have maybe one major trade, like we saw the 1 year where Jerry Rice was sent from the Raiders to the Seahawks, or Jamie Collins, or even Vernon Davis to the Broncos. But usually when you have that kind of a trade, it's not a major trade. It's definitely not dealing first-round picks, second-round picks, third-round picks, etc.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. Yeah, it's going to be hard to pull off a trade unless it's just something that's just very detrimental. Like, you just don't see it. You don't see that in the NFL in midseason. They put too much work into it. It's kind of like a company, like a corporate company, when they send you to training and all of that, and they spend all these, man hours and investments. That's why it takes so long to get fired from some of these bigger companies, because they don't want to just flush all that money down the drain. And think about it. These cats have went through training camp. They learn schemes. They don't want to trade people off. They don't want to waive people. So, I mean, it's going to do that.
Not to mention, you just don't see trading in general in the NFL that much.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see it in the offseason.
Not that much, though, compared to, like, other sports.
Well, yeah, no, and we said that last week, like, that we're not expecting a big, giant, trade, but, it's more so for the NFL, it's free agency is the big deal. It's not going to be trades. So, right.
Yeah. This is a big one. This is a big one. I need my second hand right here.
You're using your strong hand? Use my strong hand.
Yeah. You son of a... Do you think if Mayfield started the season, we would still have traded Josh Gordon?
That's a great question.
If I may, I'd like to take this one first.
Absolutely.
I honestly think that if Baker Mayfield started the season, I still think they would have traded Josh Gordon. Look, my honest feeling about this, I think this was not so much about who was starting, but just the image that Gordon was projecting at the time. And unfortunately, the image that he's painting the team. As you just said, running an NFL team is like running a business. When you have somebody that is a great talent but keeps getting in trouble, and in all honesty, just looking like he doesn't give a damn because he keeps getting in trouble, then it makes you lose a lot of trust. And then, because of what happened before that Saints week, there was no trust in that situation. So I'd have to say no, dog. I think that Josh would have still been traded.
I have to say that he wouldn't have been traded. And the reason why I'm saying he wouldn't have been traded is because Baker brings something different to that team when he came in. And even though we've seen what happened with the Chargers, I get it. But if Baker would have been working with the ones, part of training camp, part of training camp up in the preseason, and then also debuting, I think we would have seen a completely different offense. I mean, that was one of the problems that was with Josh Gordon. Like, he was frustrated, just like Antonio gets frustrated, that he's running these routes and he's wide the heck open, and Tyrod couldn't get the ball down the field to him. They were very, very frustrated, and I see why Josh was frustrated, and I see why Antonio's now frustrated. I think Baker would have been able to get the ball to Josh. I think it would have been a beautiful marriage, and we would have probably been in a different, I would say, point in this season. Now, does that mean that Tyrod probably wouldn't have stayed with the team and we probably would have traded him a little bit sooner? Probably. But at the end of the day, I think Josh still would have been here and we could have been singing and doing Kumbaya.
I mean, possibly. I mean, it's a weird situation to even fathom because we all know the situation. So I'll agree to disagree with you on this one, but it's just like, this is something that I think we can all say that we're ready to put in the rearview mirror at this point. My other thing is also with this, I wouldn't say it's a mistake that we traded Gordon. The same way that what's one of the other things I saw, it was not a mistake to let Terrell Pryor go.
The Terrell Pryor and the Corey Coleman, yeah. It looks like Josh Gordon is going to probably turn out to be the same way. But we really haven't – the thing with the Patriots is that they will sit up there and work with somebody, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, when they're ready, they'll just unleash them. And I kind of feel like it's the same thing with Josh. Like, they're kind of like easing him in, and then they're just going to rip him, out there, and he's going to, like, have a humongous game, and it's going to go from there. I think it's really – they're just kind of, stirring the pot. He's in the crock pot right now warming up. So that's what I kind of feel about that. But I don't want to talk about Josh anymore.
Yeah.
How about this? Don't you got quite a few more questions?
I do. Do you want to do one more, or do you want to do a couple more, or what do you want to do?
No, let's take a quick break for everybody out there. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll go into some more doggy bag. We'll get a couple more questions in there for you guys. Again, I said, you guys hit us with a bunch of questions this week, which is overwhelmingly good. So yeah, absolutely, I'm happy about that. So, you have something to add before we go to break?
Yes. You mentioned crock pots before.
Yeah,
we're cooking up dope in a crock pot.
Wow, I wish I had that 2 seconds of my life back. Thanks, Eric. Anywho, we will take a quick commercial break, and then when we get back, we will talk some more doggy bag, and then we'll transition over to our preview of this week's game, plus score predictions, all that good stuff. This is BrownsTownUSA, powered by the 3-point conversion.
Hey, this is Brittany Griner from the Phoenix Mercury, and you listen to the 3-point conversion.
And we are back. I'm LA, and across from me is Eric, and I am currently in a state where I wish I could get some of my time back because of what Eric just did.
Cooking up dope in a crock pot.
Yeah, and he did it again. Oh, my gosh. Anywho, we have been answering some of your doggy bag questions, and you guys have had some awesome questions thus far. So definitely keep them coming. Can't wait to see what you guys drum up for us next week. But Eric has a couple more that he's going to dig around in that bag for. Hey, Eric, see if there's a Byron Leftwich jersey in there for me.
All right, let me see what it. Well, no, I didn't find a Leftwich. I found a David Garrard.
Oh, touche.
I also found a David Ragone if you want that.
What'd you say about crab meat ragoon?
I mean, we are, after all, talking about Jameis Winston. You know how much he loves those crab legs.
Absolutely.
All right. Will Hugh make it through the season if the losses continue?
Will Hugh make it through the season? Yes. I'm still going with yes. I don't think that they want to do this. It would really have to be an episode of the Chargers this week, next week, and then our bye week is what, week 7?
I believe so.
Yeah, I want to say it's week 7. So we would literally have to have like a couple of Chargers games back to back to back, like in order for him to just be out. It's so much that goes into it when you fire a coach, man. And to do it in the middle of the season, it's kind of like you're just saying, like, yeah, you know what, we gave up on this season. Now you're telling your veteran players that, you're telling other free agents. And I mean, that's such a Cleveland Browns thing. And we really just need to change the narrative. We've already started attracting free agents because we got players here, but we cannot continue as ownership and as management continue to do the same things because the free agents aren't going to come regardless of who's here, you know, on the squad. So I'm going to say no.
You know what? Yeah, I got to go no as well. I mean, the thing is, as much as we don't want to see Hugh back, one, we don't want to see the turnover again. And two, it just seems like Haslam is in Hugh's back pocket at this point. So it would take something really special. Some of the rumors people have been bringing up are Lincoln Riley and Josh McDaniels. I don't want to see either one of them in Cleveland because McDaniels is good when he has Tom Brady. But we saw what he did in Denver. He wasn't that spectacular. And Lincoln Riley, I hate to say it, he's too young to be doing this type of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not excited about trying to project who's going to be our next head coach. I don't want to. I know it's like being caught between a rock and a hard place. But I'm not there yet. I would really have to get the energy back up to even start trying to scout and see who I may want to be there. And I just keep thinking about all of the different coaching searches. It's like we have like off time when it comes to coaching searches. You know, like we'll hold on to a guy for 2 or 3 years, which is normally what we should do, but then we'll miss out on the really good coaches, you know, and then they end up going somewhere and they just, you know, do amazing. Like I think the year that Sean McVay got hired, like we weren't in the running, right? We were still holding on to what was it, Hugh?
That was after Hugh's first year.
Yeah, like it was like dang, and then Sean McVay goes out there and now he's considered a genius and he's amazing. So I'm like,
I can already see it. Brownstown, this January edition of the Brownstown USA podcast, powered by Jack Daniels. While we're looking for a new coach.
Well, I mean, if Jack Daniels is going to sponsor us, I'm cool with that. Yeah, I can do that. But look, what else you got, man?
What positions does this team need to draft/acquire next offseason to continue trending upward?
We need more. I would probably go in a direction of defensive line and possibly wide receiver as of right now. What do you think?
There's 3 spots that I look at. And for one,
and of course. I know what you're going to say. Go ahead. Yeah, I know what you're going to say.
Okay, of course we don't need quarterback for once.
Yeah, thank goodness.
But, like, the positions that we do need, one, I do think that we do need a defensive tackle more than anything. Look, no offense to Coley. He's been effective, but effective does not always win games, if that makes sense. You need another body in there. Ogunjobi's looked good, but he can't do this by himself in a 4-3 scheme. So you got to get him help there. And there's a lot of good defensive tackles that are projected in this first round.
Absolutely.
The second one, you said it best, wide receiver. The guy I wanted originally is now off the board because his career's over. And that's Amon Richards. But, I've seen, A.J. Brown from, I think it was the University of Ole Miss. There's a few decent receivers there. But the thing is, we have to be patient with them. I mean, no more of this, oh, he's dropping, so he must be crap. Jerry Rice dropped a lot of balls. Amari Cooper, the guy that we can't stop gushing over, dropped a lot of balls. So let them develop and just get off their ass, for lack of a better word. And then the other one, I think we could either use a right tackle or a center.
Oh.
Look, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Corbett, if he plays center in the future, cool, but I honestly think that we're going to need a right guard in the near future more than we're going to need a center then we're going to need him at center. He was a great guard, if you remember, and as much as I like Zeitler, he's kind of getting up there.
I don't think you like him because you don't never say his name right either.
Is it Zeitler or is it Zeitler?
Zeitler.
Okay, Zeitler. I apologize.
No, I just think, when I don't like people, I just say their names wrong. So that's what I figured.
Okay, La, I gotcha.
Okay. Touche.
But that's just the thing. I mean, look, Zeitler is going to need an heir apparent because he's starting to get up there a little bit. And, well, considering that Petonio's not going anywhere, considering that Desmond Harrison is looking good, I think that ultimately you got to ask yourself, one, how good of a job is Hubbard doing right now? And two, can you get someone better to play center?
I can dig that. I can definitely dig that.
Okay.
I wouldn't be mad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Nah, I wouldn't even be mad to see. Well, again, our secondary was looking pretty solid. So I mean, we don't. I mean, because of all the. But then again, too, it depends on who re-signs with us too. Because remember, a lot of those guys that he brought in were on 1-year deals. So
Mitchell was on a 3-year.
I think Mitchell was on a 3-year, but I want to say it was Randall that was on a 1-year, and I think Gaines and Carey might be too.
Well, Gain, I'm not so much concerned about losing them. I mean, I probably should be, but that's beside the point. I also do think that Randall is probably the one guy that is probably going to resign, but I thought for some reason we had an option on Randall.
I have to look it up technically, but I think he just had a 1-year, if I'm not mistaken, when I looked at it last week. But
I thought he was still on that rookie deal, so he had the 5th-year option. So,
gotcha. No, I'll look that up and then we'll confirm it. So what we're gonna do is, I guess we'll take a little mini break and then we'll come back in, you guys, to talk about our preview, score predictions, and what must we do to win. So this is BrownsTownUSA, powered by the 3-point conversion. We'll be right back.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking, the hot box. Cooking on your bitch, yeah, that. Cooking up in the crock pot. We came from nothing to something. Hey, I don't trust nobody, grip the trick. Nobody call up the gang and they come and get gang. Cry me a river, give you a tissue.
And we are back. This is BrownsTownUSA, powered by the 3-point conversion. I am LA, and across from me is my man Eric, aka Stashball. And we just got done going through your doggy bag questions. Great questions. Keep it up. Definitely appreciate the love. So, all right, Eric, let's do this in rapid fire formation. We have our preview against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What must this offense do in order for us to win?
Simple. And this is going to sound bad. Run the damn football! I'm sorry, but I'm looking at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now, And they honestly, and right now, they have the third best rushing yards defense. But the thing is, you got to hit them early. But there's another reason as to why with this. Tampa Bay has the second worst passing yards allowed for passing. So if you can't get the running game on early, you're going to become too predictable.
Very true. Very true. And I was going to say that too. I would love to see us run the ball more. I really don't want to keep having Baker throw it so much. Again, we seen last week how he wasn't anticipating as much. He wasn't really getting the ball into those tight windows like he used to. But at the same time, I knew he was hobbled with his ankle, and I know a lot of his throwing mechanics comes from his legs and his feet. So hopefully he has healed up well enough for him to be able to come out and look like the Baker that we all knew or all know and love. But again, he's a rookie, so I get it. But if he's going to bounce back against any defense, this is going to be that defense. So defensively, Eric, what must we do to win?
Defensively, what we're going to need to do, put pressure on Jameis Winston. Let me be honest. I think a little bit of the Tampa Bay offense is pretty inflated because Ryan Fitzpatrick looked amazing in those first few weeks and then dropped off. We don't know what's really going on with Jameis because he just starting again, about 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
So, and Jameis has always had this problem where if you put pressure on him, then he gets a little bit of happy feet. So, put the pressure on him and make him make the plays because we've seen that he has not done extremely well in the NFL. He's done okay, but he hasn't been this star player that everyone projected him to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you there because at the end of the day, these guys have a ton of receiving weapons from Mike Evans to Deshaun Jackson to O.J. Howard. I mean, they have some big, talented, fast receivers, and this could get really ugly really fast. And when it comes to their offense compared to our offense, if we were doing a shootout, I'm gonna pick them because they have more reliable weapons, and they can also run the ball as well. So this is gonna be a big test for our defense, a really big test, and it couldn't have happened at a worse time. With everybody having all these injuries and being out, this is going to be
LA about that. Tampa Bay is actually last in the league in rushing.
Yeah, but I'm saying they can rush the ball though. Like they have some capable people back there, and if you are passing on us, remember the Browns defense isn't that good at stopping the rush.
That's
so
true.
I mean, they can bounce back here, even though they are 30th. So I definitely get it, and that's a great point. But if there's a defense that this Tampa Bay offense is looking at and licking their chops, it got to be us this week.
Absolutely.
Before, it wasn't.
Absolutely. I mean, right now, this is a golden opportunity for Cleveland to bounce back. I mean, it looks like a cupcake team, but we are the one team that anything is anything but cupcake.
Yeah. So, again, this could get ugly really quickly. But hopefully, like I said, they pull it together, and then hopefully the offense can do something to – I mean, again, Eric, we lead the league or we're up to close to the top for takeaways, and our conversion rate to takeaways, we're only averaging 2 points per takeaway. So it's like the defense is – I mean, I can't blame the defense that much. Like, I haven't been that tough on them this year because they've come out, they've gotten turnovers, they've gotten huge plays, they've saved our offense time and time again, and we continue to just crap the pooch when it comes to the offense going out there. So defense, please just contain and hold on as much as you can, as long as you can. And offense, please step the heck up. So with that being said, and appreciate you doing this in rapid fire, Eric, what's your score prediction, man?
My score prediction, I know last week I said that the Browns were going to get crapped on. And I think I was pretty accurate with that.
Wait, you can't take all the credit now.
I know, you said it too.
I said it too.
You just gave us a much closer score. Anyways, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think the Browns win this game. However, this is where it gets a little embarrassing. I think they win 16-13.
Oh, wow.
I mean, look, it could be a shootout potentially, or it could be a circus of failure. So, well, I think that the Browns would be more conservative than aggressive, unfortunately.
Well, I'm actually picking the Bucs in this one. I'm going to pick them 31-17.
31-17.
Yep, 31-17 Bucs. I think they come out, and I think they do what the Chargers did as far as offensively. I really hope that the Browns can catch up offensively, but I really just kind of see, and maybe this is just being, negative, but I really see the Browns season just starting to – it's like right there at that little – it's circling around the drain a little bit. And, I'm going to go with the pattern. The pattern has been is that when they circle around the drain, they go down the drain. So I'm just gonna be real. So I apologize to all the fans out there. If you guys are mad at me, hit me up at LA_Broadus on all your social media. If you want to cuss me out, I am here. I will take it. But I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to give you my real mind. I cannot just be a fanboy the entire time. So, Eric, let the people know where they can find you, sir.
I am at Stoshball on Instagram. It's pretty much at I_am_Stoshball. And then at Stoshball on Twitter. So hit me up. Yeah, I promise I won't bite. Fight back? Maybe, but let's see how the conversation goes.
All right. So with that being said, this is your episode of Brownstown USA. It is Buccaneers week. So, guys, enjoy your weekend. Let's hopefully be able to come back and have a victory Monday. And we will see you soon. Eric, as we go out, man, can we get a big let's go Browns?
Let's go Browns. Here's hoping for victory stage!
Let's go Browns.
Mamma mia, mamma mia. Mamma mia, let me go. Beelzebub has a devil put aside for me.